Well, it's been a while. My God, it's been a while. Yeah, just lunchtime stop. Is it 20 to what? 20 to 1. 20 to 1, 21st of Friday, the 21st of May. Good afternoon. I've entitled this video Vindaflu. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that. We really, really are. Lovely to see you all. As you know, we do have a new Indian variant now called vindaflu. It landed straight here. It never, excuse me. Oh, my goodness. It's Stevie Finley. All right, gorgeous. Kenny, mate. All right, Squire. Lauren Page. Yes, all good, man. It's been a while since I've been in here doing videos. So I thought, let's come and have a little chat with you lot this afternoon. Yeah, vindaflu. Unbelievable, isn't it? Apparently in Mumbai, though, there's people out in Mumbai saying, we don't know what the UK is on about. We're all right here. We're just absolutely fine. The Ukraine as well. The Ukraine's got the UK variant. So it does appear that this is all playing out on a mass thing. And I can't stand it. I don't know about you. Yeah, it is what it is. Lovely to see you all. I've got two mates actually that have come down with a bit of a strain. One's got a dodgy ticker, and the other one's in a coma. So I hope they get well. Lost a mate. Mate's mum passed away a couple of days ago. Bless her. She fell over. This is a true story actually. This one. She fell over, broke her wrist, her foot, all her cheekbone, smashed all her cheekbone, and they said she broke her neck. My friend thought she was going to be arrested by two burly coppers because they weren't going to let her in because of all this nonsense that's going on right now. And she said, no, that's my mum. I'm going to go and hold her hand and be with her. And she was. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, this woman, my mate's mum, passed away at 4 stone. Man. And as you know, they've just repealed. I don't like acts of parliaments. They're just acting. Shakespeare said the world's a stage. And it truthfully really, really is. I never understood that as a kid. But yeah, she's passed away at 4 stone. There should never be anyone in this country at 4 stone. Never. Never, ever, ever should there be anyone at 4 stone in this country. And as you can see, you know, goes hand in hand with the repealing of the Genocide Act. The UK government has been at its wrists tied for many years for committing genocide. Well, they've just repealed that, so we will see. We will see. Seeking truths. All right, gorgeous. Oh, excuse me, I've got hay fever. I've been cutting the grass and all that. It's a lunchtime pit stop. It's not for long, but I thought I ain't been. I've just actually, fun enough. These are all going off in the post. These are all going off. This one's going off to Abby Tierney. She's Registrar General for the country. This one's going off to the Lord Chief Justice. This one's going off to a man called Boris, purporting to be the Prime Minister. And this goes off to Sir Tom Scholar at the HM Treasury. Because any bills that come through now in the legal name, I'll just send them up to Sir Tom Scholar and say to him, you sort it out, son. You only get an with the Indian flu. You do, mate. You do, Tom. I'm telling you. It's nice to see you, Tom. Really nice to see you. Look at me. I can't even afford a new top. Things are desperate. But it is what it is. Yeah, so, you know, it's crazy. We're living in some really crazy times. I do wonder what would... That's quite sinister, isn't it? Repealing the Genocide Act. You've got to wonder what the hell's going on. 4 stone, loads of people dying. A friend of mine, Del Irons, he's one of his good buddies committed suicide the other day. I'm sick of it. Sick of just the lack of morality. You know, that's what this all... I've got something behind there. That's what all... And don't say eyeball. That's what this all boils down to with government is lack of morality. It's savage. These people just don't care no more. It's like a little bit of a war zone, isn't it? Good afternoon, Al. How are you, Alan? Nice to see you, mate. I've got something in my eye. I've been sneezing. I think I have got the vindaflu. That's what happens when you cut the grass. Carol Georgina. Hello, sweetheart. Nice to see you, darling. See you nice. You can't knock it, can you? This Indian flu. It's come all the way from India, and it's not landed anywhere else in Europe, but it's landed straight over the top of England and gone, bosh, I'm having some of that. They're supposed to be coming completely out of all this lockdown nonsense in July. Is it June or July the 21st? June the 21st, I think. And that's when all this nonsense supposed to disappear. It's not supposed to be with us anymore. But I've got a funny feeling that they're going to boycott that idea and move on to something a little bit more sinister. They love a bit of sinisterism, don't they, the government? Really involved in lots of skullduggery. And they certainly don't work for us. It's quite sad. So, yeah, lovely to see you all. I've not been in here for a while. I've been doing more over on my Facebook thing, to be honest with you. I keep doing these things on all these different medias, hopefully just, to touch a few people and so that they can just make up their own informed decisions, So many deaths from people taking the vaccines. It's very savage. Very, 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 very savage. Well, we've all got masks on. I think the vet's here. I might go out there. Got the vet just turned up with we got a livery here. We've got horses and stuff. Not a livery as such, but it's just we got horses and they've got masks on. I might just go out and pounce on them. I'm set up in my area. Push court of protection assumption. This is my son. Bless your heart, awake and well. Look, these documents that I'm sending out here. If anyone wants these, let me know. I'll put you in touch with the dude. This is the second lot of documents that are now going off to the man Boris. I'm going to read it to you, right? It's really powerful. Like I say, the Achilles heel for government is they can only act in person. They can only act on a person. Can't act on a real man or woman. Not allowed to. So a man called Alexander Boris de Pfeffel, whatever his name is, a creature of God, natural status. By performing the act of incorporation, the man called Boris purports to act in person through a fictitious corporate name as the representative, the oration for a Crown Court franchise called a surname corpse with the given rank of Johnson plus Alex Boris de Pfeffel Corp, and then the oration, the speaking part, legal corporate name. Prime Minister Johnson, Chief Executive Officer of a company running a country as opposed to a sovereign. Alex Boris de Pfeffel was failed to provide the contract on and for before the 30th of April 2021 that obligates I, a man called David Paul, to perform an act of incorporation where I knowingly agreed to diminish my true natural status of man to that as of purporting to act in person as a representative for a Crown corporation franchise called a surname and assume the role of a body corporation. By your silence, Alexander Boris de Pfeffel is in total agreement that no such contract exists and there is no legal obligation to act for a surname. Even though representatives of corps have, will and do intervene with elements of force, manipulation, distress and other ulterior forms of constraint, coercion and grammatical deceit in order to induce I, a man, into immoral contracts called statutory laws. My true natural status under God's truth is in fact rendering all government issued identification for Mr. David Paul surname, picture of letters to made look like words, a no standard language. If you actually ask the government to provide the styles manual that they're using, they can't do it. Constitution is the solution. I'm not sure. A constitution is written by them for them, really, isn't it? Null and void. It can't beat God's law. You want to get freedom. You got to go to the Bible for your law. I'm afraid. Everything else is just It all goes back to the Bible. Really, people just don't realise. Null and void as such name is an incorporation of fiction that necessitates I, a man called David Paul, to act as a representative for Mr. Surname, a delusional belief that does not exist at law as in fact or in reality. The legal system's foundation is built on presumption rather than fact. The presumption is an article of incorporation birthed on a certificate that I, a man, shall unknowingly claim a surname person annexed to me via such a document. Such a presumption is highlighted by the fact that the English language on such a document is distorted with a language that is not English, God's truth, but foreign hocus pocus, meaningless talk or activity, typically designed to trick a man to conceal the truth of a situation as opposed to God's truth, the absolute truth. Provide the Styles manual in relation to birth certificates. Should Boris be unsuccessful in respecting my wish and fail to provide the Styles manual on and before the 4th of June 2021, it shall be considered by consensus that the birth certificate cannot be read because a non-standard language is being used that has no codification or institutional endorsement. The entity, entire legal personality, corporate name originates from the birth certificate, and if no style manual can be endorsed, the government, police, and courts have no style manual either. Thus, no authority or jurisdiction over man. Verification as to why criminal argot is used by representatives of the Crown Corp in order to enforce the conscription of man into corporate slavery by using an internal private language that is spurious in nature, lacking authenticity in essence and origin, not genuine, based off fact. I look forward to your earliest of responses and appreciate your time and understanding with regards to this matter held in trust. Mark of I am man, called David Paul, all natural rights reserved, lacking corporate status. So that's one that's going off to Boris. These are my copies, and we sent off to the Registrar General, which is now a individual called Abby Tierney. And we've also got Ian Duncan, who's the Lord Chief Justice. So if you want these, I shall be getting the third one next, which will have my ID card, and my ID card is going to be that. And you'll see the tree of life down the bottom, not the tree of knowledge. Remember, in the scripture it does say, if you eat from the tree of knowledge, you shall surely die. It says that. So that's all the Constitution and stuff. You know, it is what it is. This is England, not Britain. I agree, June. In complete. I really do. You're a sweetheart. Today, my son only came up from West Sussex to a hotel to sign papers with my daughter behind me. Oh, mate, I'm sorry about that. The world's a wicked place. And also the teachers now in your schools, they're grilling the kids. Shame on them. Man, I thought education was just about teaching them the ABCs and the birds and the bees and trying to get them on in life. I didn't realise it had become a cult satanic place where they spy on the parents through the kids. Now they're saying in these schools that if the kids, when questioned, turn around and say that mummy and daddy watch David Icke videos or anti-vaccines and anti-mask wear and all this other nonsense, there's a good chance that the kids are going to be placed in care. Frikey. What happened? Well, just what went so wrong? What went so wrong? So that's the bit. It's a big one for me. You know, teachers and schools. What are you playing at? Why are you getting involved in all this? Why don't you just teach the kids? Forget the politics. Teachers should never be political weapons, nor should the police. The police should never be political weapons, but they are, and that's who they work for. The teachers are a disgrace. It's disgusting. Asking kids, the mummy and daddy like conspiracy stuff and all that, and then social services, the child stealers come along, and they do steal children. Social services are not what you think they are. They steal children, and they can't wait to steal them. You know, my friend quite a few years ago was a local councillor, and she used to go to some evenings with canapes and red wine, and one of these guys that was working for Kent Social Services at the time, after a few glasses of wine, he said to my friend, I'm going to take more. He said, I'm going to take 1,000 more children off families next year. And she retorted, why would you do that? His simple answer to that was, because I can. Because I can. My goodness. What have we allowed? Who are these people running these councils? Who are they working for? What's the agenda here? Is their favourite book Mein Kampf? My Struggle? I don't know. I think it's shocking. And I think people, parents, part renters in your children. That's what parent means, part renting. You're part renting your children. Should seriously consider, keeping the kids at home, self-education, home ed. It's if you can afford to, if dad goes to work and mum's at home, maybe start doing home ed. Honestly, if my kids were young now and I knew what I knew and I was starting again, I'd never send them to school. I would never send them to a mainstream school. I would home educate. And then people come out with this old chestnut about, they won't get a decent education. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I watched a video about 10 years ago of a 13-year-old kid. I think his name was Jaden. And he was American, and his parents had homeschooled him, right? And when he come on stage to do his TED talk, this kid, my word, let me tell you, his future's bright. He's probably 23 now, but what this kid knew, where he'd been, what he'd seen, the confidence level, off the chart, off the radar. So if you can, home ed, don't. And what you've got to remember is there's a lot of people now that are home educating, and then they're linking up with all other people in their areas to do the same. So they go out on field trips and they go out and do this. They go out into nature. They find out about all these different species. Man, that's education. That's an education. Don't mean you come out of a school at the end of it, right? And I'm going to prove a point. I'm going to exactly prove a point to you right now. I'm going to prove a point. I'm a living witness. I'm a living testimony to someone that didn't get GCEs and O-levels. My place is paid for. My house is paid for. We've done all right. We've got stables. We've got this. We've got that. I'm not bragging about it because I can't. It means nothing to me. I'm just like an easy soul. But the point is this. People say, if you leave school without education, no, let me tell you. I've walked my own path all my life and been very careful. I've done just fine. And continue to do fine. So don't ever think and I left early. I went to a grammar school, but I didn't want to stay and do all these exams because I didn't want to get sucked into the system. I never wanted to become just a cog in the machine. I wanted to really be in charge of my own future and walk my own path. God always set me straight on the path. Even when I was at school, I used to always look at all the other people. And God tells you in his word, walk a straight path. Walk your own path. Don't walk with the others. Don't take from the public purse. Do your own thing. So, the public indoctrination system is turning into a real disgrace. And it's such a shame. But gladly, more and more people are turning away from it and then homeschooling. And also we've got pharmacy. Farmacy, an online shopping distribution place that are actually growing their own produce, and they're getting volunteer drivers and other people to help out so that people can get their food without having to go to these supermarkets and be putting up with all the nonsense that goes on in the supermarket. So I wish pharmacy all the best in the future and that they strive just to achieve such greatness. And I said the other day on my live stream, it would be so nice to have a judicial system in this country that wasn't punitive, that didn't penalise you. And the word penalise means to... Anyway, I'll let you work that one out. We need to penalise. You need to correct you. Says who? Who are you people? You profess to be this all-seeing eye and he's all wiser than now, but you're just a bunch of dog shit. Genuinely, I truly believe now in 2021 that our judicial system and the people that operate inside it are dog shit. I really do. Really, really do. If you're lazy sod like myself, it's okay to listen to Bible audio books, or do you need to read it? No, mate. Anyhow, you're getting the word in you is good. Absolutely right. Nice to see you, Harold. Carol Georgina, I despise people in authority. They really think they are right. They have the right to us. They don't have a right to us. They only have a right to rule their creation, which is their birth certificate. They don't have a right to rule a man or a woman. And that's what's good about these. That's what's good about these, because if you read along the top, it says affidavit of God's truth. All right. Now, when you read the Bible and the Bible says my word is stronger than a two-edged sword. That's what God says. He says in this book, Oh, almost fell off my chair then. He says, in this written word, that his law is stronger than any double-edged sword. And he says, use this. Don't fight your own battles. Don't fight. It clearly says, if you eat from the tree of knowledge, you'll surely die. You will surely die this day, should you eat from the tree of knowledge. Eat from the tree of life. This is your tree of life, ladies and gentlemen. This is your daily bread. But use it as a law book. It's not religious. It's not faith. It's the law. And you'll see things happen in your life that you never ever thought would happen. You'll go, oh my word. When you became a servant king to the Most High and you kept his law and you keep his law, there ain't another man on this planet that can touch you. Not a chance. I've made an affidavit of rebuttal to M. Mojo, BKG agents. They took the notice as well. They're, God's law. They have to pay attention to this. There is no law higher than this. This is the font of all knowledge. This is God's law. And when you tell them that they're harming a soul spirit in mind, body, and soul, watch them run then. And they will run. They're demons, by the way. These people in these institutions are demonic. But you have to remember that the demonic is subservient. The dark side of Satanism, or whatever it is you want to call it, it has a master. And that master is the one above. And the satanics have to bounce and drop everything when you invoke the royal law, God's law. So, ladies and gentlemen, look, I'm going to disappear. This was just a little quick one today. Owen Lloyd Martin, it is beautiful to see him, old fruit. We are in very testing times. My friend's mother passed away the other day. My mate's in bits. I'm hoping that she's sort of half consolable now. But her mother passed away at 4 stone. That's disgraceful. That's disgusting. And who cares? Nobody. No one. No one really cares. And that's really the sad part about all this. I think we've gone too far. I think God himself will pull us back into alignment. I really do. And I think it's happening now. Paper burns very well. It does tell you to burn all graven images. Burn all graven images. I carry a Bible everywhere. It's the law. It's the law. I just, honestly, one in my van, one at home. And, this is a satanic kingdom. Because when you read the word of Yeshua and he went out into the wilderness and was tempted, the devil offered him everything. He said, if you bow to me, just even in an instance, I'll give you all this kingdom. You can have it all. You can have everything. And Yahweh, turned around and said, get behind thee, know your place. And he disappeared because he's a pussy. Jesus never wrote a book. Yeah, true enough. The Freemasons hate the Bible and Jesus. Oh, big time. Big time. They hate him. I mean, he says, it said, Jesus quite clearly says, or Yahweh says, if you want to walk my path, you're going to be hated and you're going to be persecuted. He says, and you say, well, why? He said, because they hated me first. They absolutely hated him first. So, yeah, you want to walk a straight path in this life, you're going to come across hurdles and you're going to be persecuted. There's going to be things happen that you get persecuted over. But then he does turn around and say, if they smite you on the left, offer the right cheek also. Offer it up. Let them have it. Nothing new for me. Jesus Jones, let me see it. Oral Gospel was the book of the day. Yes, mate, I agree. Jesus was really and truthfully, Yahweh was the first sort of free man on the land that went against the scribes and Pharisees and all that. And of course, you'll be seeing in Israel right now that Palestine and Israel are pretty much going hammer and tongue at it. And that's all revealed in Revelation. The time period that we're in, nation rising against nation, famines, pestilences, earthquakes, floods. Is it not going on? But people don't pay attention. people really don't pay attention. It's true. It's if you read, and upon her forehead was written, "Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth." So we are an abomination here. The body and the way we are considered to be an abomination before the eyes of the Lord. But the Lord is after our soul. He's after our soul. He wants to protect our soul. He's not interested in the body. There's two sides to us. There's the body, the physical drive, but the soul and the spirit is his. And this is why we're all confused. Truthfully, we are. And all light of a candle shall shine no more. All that are in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. For by their sorceries were all nations deceived. By their sorceries. Honestly, come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people. God says, come out of her. Trust me. Anyway, I'm not a sermon. I'm a minister. I'm a minister of the law. I don't use faith. I don't use religion. If you're in a court situation and they say, "Oh, is this your faith?" If you say yes, well, you're toast. If they say, "Is that your religion? Is that your religious beliefs? Your beliefs?" Yeah, well, then you're toast again. But if you clearly tell them it is the law and it is written that you shall not covet my house, you shall not bear false witness against me, blah, 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 blah. Watch them fix up them. Watch them fix up because you're giving them the law. And remember, he says, my word is sharper than a double-edged sword. These people know it. They know it, but they will tease you. They will question you. Oh, please put your hand on the Bible and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. If you do that, you're toast. Because it tells you in there not to do that. Thou shalt not swear an oath to anyone. It says you can't serve two masters, for you'll love one and you'll hate the other. So, yeah, I guess, in essence, at the core of me is the epitome of a true Christian, an absolute true Christian that will not turn. I will not turn. And I'm hoping that through the wisdom that is pouring out on the earth right now, and ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you there are so many people out there right now doing such great things and achieving such greatness with all things to do with the system. It is an unbelievable time to be alive. We are really at crossroads in many ways with many things, but we do rise from this. We do come out of this. We do get bigger. We do get stronger, and we will get this country back. We will clean up this thing. There's a big thing going on the 29th. We are nothing without the vine. Absolutely right. I don't fight my own battles no more. I use God's law, and I tell them, I'm quite happy to sit inside God's law, and are you trying to pull me out of it? Because like my documents say, I'm not purporting to act in person. I'm the real man, living man, who's making a claim that I've caused them injury, I'm a loss. It's biblical law. It's the truth. It's the truth, the God's honest truth. I don't work on these presumptions and all this other stuff no more. And the police, they've all been duped. But the 29th, I think it's next weekend, there's going to be lots of people in London, like lots and lots and lots. There was over 1 million a couple of weeks ago, and it was good to see everyone at the BBC at the weekend. I never went, but lots of people did, and they achieved some good stuff. But no coverage by the BBC, the MSN, Channel 4, ITV. They've not touched it. Why? Because they're a criminal element. They're a propaganda machine for the government. The government issues a D notice to all media to tell them that they can't report on things. Well, that's nothing. You might as well be living under Adolf Hitler, because that the media was supposed to be what they called a free press. They were supposed, and when you live with a free press and you live where the media can tell it how it is and have their opinions without having their wrists slapped, then you're in a good place, because you're generally going to get a fair, decent amount of truth. But when they go against government and government revoke their licentious behaviours, their licenses, and they can't report on the media no more, well, of course they're not going to go against that, are they? Because government is their God. Government certainly is not my God, ladies and gentlemen. And I despise what Boris and all these others are doing. I really, really do. But we win. We will win. So I will see you all very soon. If you're going on the 29th, I will be there. And I do look forward to seeing many of you. Medium psychics. Yeah, I agree with you. The media are a disgrace. You know, why wasn't anybody in the media sector brave enough to tell the truth that there was 1 million people in the streets of London? That's historic. That's history in the making. That don't happen often. But oh no, because it didn't suit their agenda. No. You know, when 1 million went out to curse the Iraq war, well, yeah, because, you know, they covered that because they get spin-off of it, sells newspapers and stuff. But yeah, they are rats. The media are rats. The paparazzi are devil's whores. They are wicked, evil people. And they seem to love cashing in on dead men's bones. And I'm sick of it. I really am. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to have a bit of lunch. I thought I'd pop in here today just to see how you all are and make sure you're all okay. If you are going to come on the 29th, fantastic. I look forward to seeing you. I can send you my details and we can hook up, maybe have a beer. Sherry Chambers, hi, sweetheart. How's it going? Hopefully I won't catch the vindaflu over the weekend. And wish my 2 mates in hospital with the dodgy ticker and one's in a coma. Wish them luck with the vindaflu over the weekend and hope they soon recover soon. And but nowhere else in Europe really seems to have the vindaflu. It's just not anywhere, is it? I mean, come on, people. It's time to wake up and smell the roses and the coffee. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you all soon.